real world.
Welcome to my channel. This is Serge bringing you another action figure collector's review on DC Multiverse's Batman. As you can tell right there, you get the figure himself. Over here on this side of the box, you get DC Multiverse right up there at the top. McFarlane Toys down there at the bottom. You get Batman right there on that side. On this side of the box, you get DC Multiverse right up there at the top. McFarlane Toys down there at the bottom. You get Batman wrote in huge white font and Hellbat suit wrote in big blue font. Over here on the back of the box, you get the cover artwork from the comic book that this Batman suit is designed from. You get the Batman Hellbat suit right there. Other figures from this wave. Up here at the top of the box, you get this big window peeping down in through the figure. Down here at the bottom, nothing but the barcode. Let's get to it and open this bad up. And with all DC Multiverse figures from McFarlane Toys, we get this stand right here, and we also get the trading card, and it's inside the plastic right there, in between the plastic and the cardboard. And me personally, I don't like damaging my stuff, and I'm just going to leave it in the package, you know, just for safekeep. Here's the Hellbat out of the box, ready to raise some hell onto your screen. This is a pretty awesome looking figure, but I do have some minor nitpicks, and we'll get into that in just a second. Before we get into that articulation, I'd like to look at the back of the figure and just take a second to just appreciate the back of it. How these wings fold up into the bat symbol. That pleases me a lot. I'm very impressed with that, how they are able to get it to do that. And then like the wings, they'll also extend out that far, which that pleases me as well. Like, I'll lift up my camera and let you see that right there. That wingspan is impressive. I like that a lot. But this plastic that they used for these wings feels kind of a little bit cheap. And I do want to note that I wish these were ball pegs. Instead, they have it on like, kind of like you just plug it in and go. Now, it would have been nice for some posability out of these things. But it was probably expensive if they were to add ball pegs. And this thing has ball pegs all over it. It has balls everywhere. So, you know, those things can get expensive when making action figures. So I understand that. But that was just a little gripe that I had with this figure. Okay, let's take a good look at his articulation. We'll take a look at his head sculpt first. And he's very statuesque. And that meaning you can't really get much movement out of that head. You can't get him looking up at all. No matter how bad you've tried to force that thing, you're not going to get him looking up. And down is basically the same thing. I mean, you can get him looking slightly down, but it's not going to go that much at all. And his head, it only moves that far to that side and that far to that side. So that's not no range. That is very displeasing. And you can't get no confused dog. I mean, a little bit of that pivot, but not much. Now, these are on ball pegs, these shoulder parts, and they pose up and they get out of the way just like so. So that pleases me a lot. And you can get him raising his arm that far and going back that far, which that pleases me quite a bit. That don't really make up for that head, but anyway. His arm can move out that far to that side. He's got a bicep swivel. And I believe this is a single jointed elbow. And that's got really good range right there. And he has a ball peg at his wrist. And you can get him to go in and out. And then you can adjust that ball around and have his hand go side to side as well. He's got a diaphragm joint that goes this far to that side, which is barely anything. And he's got that far to that side. And he's got ab crunch that crunches forward that much and back a little bit. And I would like to note he also has butterfly joints, but you're not going to get any motion or range out of that butterfly joint, which is very disappointing because butterfly joints are supposed to be able to get you more range inward and more range backwards, depending on how they have it set up. Anyway, his legs can do the super splits, which is amazing. I like that. Even for a big guy, you know, in a suit. And he can kick forward, you know, a pretty decent amount for a guy in a suit. He can kick back the slightest bit. Now, his knee and his leg is kind of bent back and his bent stuck. You can't straighten that leg out no further than that. That's very disappointing, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this figure is very, you can still get him some pretty good poses, and his knees can bend in that far with both knee joints. And he has a little bit of a thigh cut in there, not much, no boot swivel, but you'll get your most of your motion down here at that ball joint. You just have to move it around, and his foot will move that far forward and that far down, and he does have toe articulation, which that pleases me a lot. Now we'll take a look at his sculpt work and his deco, and I really do like this figure a lot as far as like the sculpt work and the overall design. It looks very good. I like the spikes that we see on the shoulder. I like the color that they use. It's like a silverish metal looking color that's been used and scraped up in battle. So that pleases me a lot. I love my battle damage figures. And I like the red that they used in the visor. All the paint apps on the same came out pretty much clean for the most part. And this is a separate piece that's glued on. And it feels like different plastic that they use. It feels a little bit more like foamy, but it's not a foam material. It's more of a plastic material right there. And I like all the sculpt work that we're seeing. All these lines are sculpted in. Pleases me a lot. All that sculpted detail right there on the arms. Right here. I love these gauntlets and these hands. They are very, very, I'm going to say menacing right there. And I like the metal. It's the same thing that they painted up here. It looks worn and weathered. It pleases me a lot. Even on the inside, it looks very good. I like the bat spikes that we're seeing and the claws. Now these are a little sharp, so be careful with that when posing them around. And these up here, they'll dig into your hands. I just wanted to mention that to you. And it's the same thing over here on this side. It looks very good. I'm very pleased with that. Like the spikes that we're seeing right there. Right here, the red sculpt work, and look up underneath there. Looks very, very good. I'm so pleased with this figure as far as the aesthetic is concerned. The belt came out very clean, looks good. Now I do have a little bit of fuzziness right here, but that doesn't bother me that bad. Here on the bat butt right here, looks very good. Red right here, I guess these would be like thrusters or something. Looks very good. The sculpting in the back, you can see some spines work in there. Sculpted detail, all that red. Sculpt back here looks very nice. There's those peg holes where you peg them wings in. But yeah, this figure, I mean, there's not a speck of paint. And look, you can see how this operates and functions up and through there. Looks very good. I'm pleased with that. I like how the boots turned out. The knee pads look great. So very pleased with that. And that was a good look at the Hellbat. The Hellbat scales with a couple more McFarlane Batmans. From the animated series, we have Batman over there on his left. And from Detective Comics issues number 1000, we have Batman over there on his right. And the scaling is a little bit off because the Batman from Detective Comics number 1000 should be a little bit shorter than the guy in the suit. So that's a little bit displeasing to me, but I mean, I guess it could still work. Farland Toys, we have Harley Quinn Classics over there on his left, and from One Punch Man, we have Saitama on his right. NECA Toys, we have the Foot Soldier from the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie over there on his left. And from the same line, we have the Shredder over there on the right. If you wanted to mix and match and do some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus DC stuff, I think it kind of goes well in scale with one another. So from NECA, from the animated side of things, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, we have a Foot Soldier over there on his left, and we also have Krang over there on his right. And just in case you wanted to mix and match with some more animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I believe this could also work in scale as well. Bro, we have the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Walgreens exclusive Dragon Shield Black Power Ranger over there on his left. And on his right, we have Marvel Legends Superior Octopus. And I believe the scaling could work with both of these figures because the Superior Octopus is a comic-based figure, so is the Batman. And the Superior Octopus is actually a teenage boy versus it could be an oversized grown man in a suit. And with the Black Power Ranger, we could have that be one of Rita's monsters that, you know, Zack is fighting or somebody. But let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. Here's my final thoughts on this figure. I do enjoy this figure personally, but however, if you like an articulated figure, you probably want to pass on this figure. If you like a figure that looks good on your shelf and people are going to ask a lot of questions about and are going to be drawn to it, then pick this guy up. Or if you're a big fan of Batman, go out and pick this guy up. I'm sure you'll be very pleased with him. He is a very great looking figure. However, that head joint, them legs, and the butterfly joints, they bother me a lot. But you can still get him into some pretty dynamic poses. So, I do recommend this guy. But let me know what you think of the figure. Let me know what you think of the review in the comments below. And as always, feel the urge to collect with Surge. If you want more action figure collectors reviews, then feel the urge to subscribe to Surge. And if you've liked what you've seen, then click that big thumbs up button. If you want to get notified of my latest videos whenever they drop, click that notification bell. If you want to see this channel grow, share with a friend. Speaking of friends, you can friend me over there on Facebook. Links to that will be in the description below. You can also follow me along on Twitter. Links to that will be in the description below.
Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. Yeah.
Are you sure you want to test this suit out? I'm Batman.